Gotta love the music all these years on Psychic Talk. Uh, it never gets old. I love that music. Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever and whenever you may be listening to us across the entire globe. It's Psychic Talk. That's right. Here we are, and we are simulcasting on Blog Talk Radio. So, hello, everybody out there listening to us on the radio players and on blogtalkradio.com. But, you can come over and see us because we're simulcasting also on YouTube. We are video streaming live on our YouTube channel at Psychic Talk. You can just search it there and then look for channels under Psychic Talk. But the easy way is to open a tab in your browser, type in youtube.com/the Psychic Talk. And I love it. I'm doing the @ but anybody that needs this URL is not seeing us yet. So why am I doing that? Anyway, we are so excited to have a whole panel of people, as you can see, if you're watching us on YouTube. It is our 1000th episode. Oh my God. We got to do some applause. Yay. Let's pop the cork here.
Yay.
1000th episode of Psychic Talk. It is also our 14th year of broadcasting. Our very first episode ever on radio was Tarot Today, January 20th, 2010. So it's been 14 years. Also, the Tarot Guild is coming up on our 20th anniversary. We're in our 20th year now. It's going to be October 31st. So Halloween this year, 2024, will be 20 years of the Tarot Guild. But we only went online with our first website on the same date, actually. I think I built the website in December. We got like 500 people on there. And it was mostly our local folks because we were in San Diego and we didn't have an online presence. So our website, all of our social media, everything started in 2009. If you go and look at our channels, it says, since 2009. And we officially launched the Tarot Guild website, the first Tarot Guild website, January 20th, 2010. I don't even know how it happened on that particular date, but it's my mom's birthday also today. So happy birthday, Mom. And she's 83. It just happened to all fall together. So there's a lot of anniversaries and things. And it just so happened that I was looking on our Blog Talk channel because I was doing the rebranding. In case you haven't noticed, we've rebranded a little into the purple here, right? We had red, and I was putting up the new logo. It's kind of the same logo, but instead of Psychic Talk Radio, I took off the radio and made the Psychic Talk bigger and put a purple curtain behind the cards there. We have the tarot cards and the microphone for Psychic Talk because it's now the Psychic Talk network, because we're on radio, but we're on YouTube as well. And so I'm installing the new banner and the new cover and the new logo and everything. And I happened to look, and we were just a few shows away from 1,000 shows. I think it was like maybe 5, 6, 8 shows away. I can't remember. Is a few days back, and I started counting, and I'm like, oh my God, Saturday, our anniversary is going to be the 1,000th show of Psychic Talk. Unbelievable. So here we are celebrating all these anniversaries. And I've invited our Tarot Guild staff because it's a Tarot Guild anniversary as well as broadcasting. And then our current hosts and folks that are also, guest co-hosting and popping in and so forth. And some of our previous hosts on the network. And wow. This is really great. We've got Vivian Aubin all the way from that far away land of Kenyatta up north, way, way away, But but we have Susan Warnett all the way from, did you say you were in, where are you now? Norfolk? No.
East
Yeah,
Anglia.
so I'm in Norfolk, which is in East
Oh,
Anglia.
okay.
And
I was
those,
right. Okay.
yeah. And I was describing it earlier. A lot of people think that the UK kind of looks like a woman riding a pig. And most people know that sort of London is kind of under this big bulbous bit, and you got the River Thames, and I'm in the big bulbous bit at the top of it. Yeah.
Awesome.
Lot of magic in this part of the UK.
Yes. So great to see you again. You look fabulous. How's hubby?
He's really good. He's really good. And um, we've got my witch's cat back because those of you who may remember, we're a military family and we were stationed in the US and we used to have our German Shepherd with us. And
Mhm.
sadly, he passed away. But when we came back to the UK, my parents had fostered our cat for us and he's now
Oh.
back. He's downstairs with his daddy in front of the Xbox.
Well, say hi to them for us. You know,
I will do. And he says hi as well. He's
they
like,
were
oh
they
my
were
God,
in
that is,
Florida, and actually they
yeah.
went on a trip through, out west, and were like this far from me. You know,
Yes.
I'm in Tucson. They're like, on Boot Hill.
Yeah.
Check it, and I never got to see them.
No, we
And
still
now
missed
they're
each
all the way on
other.
the other side of the pond. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Long, happy memories, happy memories. But
Mm,
it feels like so long ago now.
right, right. Oh, also up in Kenyatta, we have Pamela Steele, the famous tarot author, fabulous deck creator, etc., etc. And I have the fabulous third edition that just came out of Steel Wizard Tarot by Pamela. Look at this box. I just absolutely love this box. Oh my God. Magnetic and everything. And it's helping me with, decoration for the shows. And then we got Gary Karp and we got Maria Moss, who, like, the two of them have been around since the beginning,
I was about to say forever. Yeah.
Oldies but goodies.
Yes. Yes. And then we've got newer people. I invited Charlotte. Charlotte had done shows with us a couple years back, but she's been like a viewer and a listener for umpteen years. And she's going to come back and start doing shows, I think around February. She said, let me get warmed up again. She's, digging out the tarot cards and getting warmed up. She's also trying animal communication because she's a big animal person, Utah, right? Out with all the animals. So she's going to be coming on, and we got Ellie the Moonchild. Ellie is on our staff, but she started doing some shows, which is really cool. And then, Michelle Metheny, who lifetime member of the guild, and she started doing shows with me, and uh, she loves it. don't you? Don't you admit it? You love it, So we
Thank
have our
you.
newest hosts. We have our hosts from way in the far past. We've got our tarot guild people that have been around absolutely forever. It's really great. And Psychic Talk is only the latest incarnation. We've gone through all of these hoops and ups and downs and everything since the very first, when it was one show, Tarot Today, all the way to Psychic Talk. And we've had Psychic Talk for, I guess, like 5 years or something like that. And right before that, we had morphed into the network was called Angelic Realms. And that's what I did with Janice Fuchs and Maria here. And we did that for a few years. And some of you here were on there too. And it was all angels, and then we decided to let's broaden things. We were doing only tarot, then we went to angels, and it's like, let's do something like Psychic Talk where we can talk about anything psychic, so that's how we ended up. And there was networks before that. There was Rainbow Psychics, there was Lifescape Radio. Oh my gosh, over 14 years, all kinds of incarnations, but we have been continuously broadcasting nonstop since January 20th, 2010. So it's really, really exciting. What I thought was, hey, let's think of, oh, by the way, I did want to mention that we did invite everybody, and we heard from a lot of people. And Rose Fullhorse was going to be here. Deb Frew was going to be here, who she goes back like as far back as Gary and Maria and everybody, and Mary, who's not here too. So a lot of tragedies going on. So Mary had some, tragedy things, things happening in December, and she had to resign. And it's really sad because she's been here since the very beginning, been here through Psychic Talk, the new incarnation. She was on with us before, left, came back. And then she's been my co-host on Tarot Today on Saturdays for years and years and years and years and years. And we come up on the 1000th anniversary, and she couldn't come. And also the 1000th episode and the 14th anniversary. So that's sad. Rose was going to, definitely be here, but her throat's like really scratchy and so forth. So I'm going to invite her to come on a show and just hang out, and we'll catch up with her. And I want to extend that invitation to everybody else too. Like Deb, whose husband is in bad condition. He's in the hospital. I don't know details, but all of our thoughts and prayers go to Deb and her hubby. I'm hoping that, things turn to the positive, but so I'm going to ask Deb, to come on in the future when she has time. She's, busy with the worst possible thing, an ill spouse, or family member. But I want to extend the same invitation to, everybody. Dr. Rose was supposed to be here. She didn't say anything, but she's not here yet. So I don't know. Charlotte says she was coming, but she had a big anxiety attack, I think, kind of thing. She's calming down. She says, don't give up on me yet. She's going to try to pop in here. So at any time she may pop in. But Suzanne and Vivian and everybody, and anybody listening, and you used to be on the network, hey, let us know in the chat here on YouTube that you're here, and message me so I can get you on a show, and we can all hang out and catch back up. What have you been doing since you were on the network, and what are you doing now, and all that kind of stuff. So I just want to extend that invitation to everybody. I thought, and I like doing this on anniversaries, is I thought, those of us that, pull some cards, those of us that get, angelic messages or something channeled from the universe, anything that's coming in, what's people seeing for, the Tarot Guild online going forward, as well as Psychic Talk, the network. And I just thought we'd do that first and see what comes up. And I'm going to use the Steel Wizard Tarot by Pamela, which is extremely thick. Look how thick. How many cards again, Pamela? 80 what? Just got to turn her mic back on.
88. There's
88.
88 cards. And I've been playing with the new deck long enough now that they are considerably thicker than the second or even the first edition. But they've got a better card stock now.
Yeah, it's very thick. Very
and
thick.
I'm getting really good at, but
of course I get the naked one, when I'm like,
of course you do. I mean, but just I got used to shuffling side to side. And I can do it. It's flawless now. I just got used to it.
They're very slippery too, but not as slippery as like my gold foil deck, which is made of PVC material. Literally, you can do a tarot reading in your bathtub with your candles at the same time.
Yeah,
this is the coolest thing ever. Shuffles amazingly well, but it is so slippery. Slippery. So let's all pull a card or something, and just or whoever wants to. And I'm going to pull some cards. I did pull a card ahead of time, but I'm going to pull some more and see what comes out of Pamela's deck here. I thought, Pamela's going to be here. Might as well use her deck, right? So, and you're gonna have to give me help with this. Oh, I have the
Okay.
book. I have the book.
Yeah.
So I look it up here. Um,
Ooh, okay. I am card.
the I am card 27. So that's one of the special, not necessarily tarot cards, in the deck, and the additional tarot cards, I'll say, so I'm going to look this up in here. The I am, let's see. I bet it's perfect too, because tarot is always perfect, right? Guidelines. We are all one. This is just amazing. So I'm pulling these cards, for the guild and for Psychic Talk. You know the divinity within and manifest it in outward expression by acknowledging the various aspects of each individual as an intricate part of the whole. And that's something I was thinking about earlier. I really wanted to bring that up, that we talk about the guild, we talk about Psychic Talk, whatever. It really isn't that. It's us. We are the Tarot Guild, and we are Psychic Talk. You now realize your true potential as a divine being having a human experience. I say that all the time. In this, you are living the dream, quote unquote, and you know that the dream is your creation. Yes. You know you are never alone in this quest for the divine. We are one. Ooh, beautiful, Pamela. Yeah, so that makes a lot of sense, and I mean, I feel that way personally, because I started everything, got everything going. I built the websites, done all the work, it's like my baby kind of thing, both the guild and the network, so I feel that. And then I also feel, we're greater than the sum of the individual parts, which is the individual members and hosts and everything along those lines.
Mhm.
I'm going to pull more cards down. I'm going to just see what else comes up here in the giant deck. Going to pull off the top of the deck here. Oh my God. Okay. So the very first card, Temperance. This is insane, because anybody that has been listening to the shows for any length of time knows that the Temperance card is literally my favorite card. Talk about getting that for this. And, 1 foot in the spiritual realm, 1 foot in the material realm, the path of glory. Oh my God. That is amazing to get this. It's this is the foundation card. And one thing I noticed right away is that on Temperance, I always say that this I'm trying to get it in the camera. The square and the triangle on the angel's breast, that's like literally the symbol for tarot. Think of the square, obviously the 4 minor arcana suits, and then imagine all 14 cards from each suit going along one of those sides, and then the triangle, imagine 7 cards on a side, the 21 major arcana, and then the Fool in the center. So I've always thought of that as like literally the symbol for tarot. So like the foundation of all of this is tarot. That's where the whole thing came from, even though we're branching out here now. Let's see. Knight of Pentacles, making slow, steady progress there. It's an 8-year here, world year of 8. So I'm hoping for a lot more prosperity and abundance for all of us as we move forward. Queen of Cups. I love this because, I just said how tarot is the foundation. It all started with tarot and then kind of snowballed. And now we're Psychic Talk, and it's apropos that, Psychic Talk is our outward manifestation. It's what the general public sees a lot, hears a lot because of the radio and YouTube. And it's apropos because it's the 14th anniversary of our first website. And now we are launching a new community website for the Tarot Guild for the 20th anniversary and for Psychic Talk called Psychic Cafe, www.psychic.cafe. It has all the functionality just like Facebook with groups and friending each other and instant messaging and blog posts and you name it. It's called the stream on this platform, but it's like the wall, like your wall. Everybody gets their own profile and things like that, and it's all about the people coming together. And what I love about the Queen of Cups here is talking about the psychic aspect and psychic development. And, now that we're starting Psychic Cafe, I'm feeling like I got the Temperance card, reminded me that the Foundation's tarot, but then getting this, I think it's saying going forward with Psychic Cafe, Psychic Talk, and the Guild, that it's going to be more and more helping people with psychic development and, becoming psychic advisors as well as tarot advisors and so forth like that. And one more card I pulled, Ace of Swords, a lot of new ideas and new things coming through, for us. I think that's great. And there's been a ton of new ideas. Catherine's not here right now, but Catherine and like Michelle here was the first one, literally the first person besides myself on the website building Psychic Cafe. She popped right on and joined out of nowhere. And, I'm like, I haven't finished building. In fact, I still haven't finished building the website. There's a lot more to go on the new website. And I'm like, oh, but we're not ready. But see, that's the thing. Perfectionism, and it holds us all back. And so, for me especially, but for everybody else too, it's like, let go of that. It's like instead of ready, aim, fire, it's like fire, aim, ready. Just get it going and course correct as you go. So my initial reaction is my typical perfectionism, like, it's not absolutely perfect yet. And Michelle joined, and then I was like, oh, why not? Let's just all start coming on the website. And so we did. And people started popping on now. And now that we're doing this broadcast, official launch, everybody can come and join us on there. But the thing is, Michelle and Catherine, I wish Catherine was here. She does the Friday show, Compassionate Light, and she had a lot of great ideas. In fact, she is just as excited for Psychic Cafe. She envisions, us putting stores on the network and I mean on the website, and networking together, and each one of us having our own store on our own profile and selling our own, products and services and just like whatever you want to sell, kind of thing. And she has some other ideas too, things, to go on the website. But I also wanted to point out Michelle and Charlotte too have a lot of great ideas, for the new website. And so when this showed up, I was like, yeah, we're already getting a lot of that. It's great. So that's what I got. Anybody else pull cards?
I did.
Oh, what'd you get?
Well, the first one I got is from the Eternal Seeker Oracle because I love to play with that deck and start with it. And what I got was one called Heart Song. Okay, now I don't know what's going on here. It's the Eternal Seeker's answer to the Sun card, which means follow your heart and whatever makes it sing, that's what you do. It's becoming who you came here to be. Okay, and I think that definitely applies especially with what we're doing now, because when I pulled out my tarot deck, the first card I got was the Maiden of Wands. Now, this maidens in this tarot represent the potential for each suit. And as Dax was talking, and this card flipped over, I thought, oh my goodness, because here we are finally unlocking the true potential, not just for what we're doing, but for who we are. And it's going to involve a lot of change, but it's okay because it's all good change, and we're all bringing different gifts to the table. So whatever we're doing, it's going to blend together and make this absolutely beautiful tapestry. You watch whenever it's done. Now he got the Queen of Cups. I got the Queen of Swords, which this is somebody who can think their way through a situation. It's about clarity. It's about strength. It's about no matter what happened in the past, keep your armor flexible. We can still do this. And we're doing it as we speak. And the last card, since he got the Ace of Swords, I pulled the Ace of Cups, kind of a reversal there. But what this means that there is we have abundance. There's enough. There's no such thing as lack. We're all in this together. And if we support and help each other, that's all we can do. I mean, that's all we can do, because if we're supporting each other, we're also supporting ourselves, because we're going back to that first card he pulled. We're all one. So what you do for yourself and what you do for others, you do for yourself, and vice versa. So it's all good. Okay. That's what I got.
Cool.
Okay. Well, I pulled a card, and I hate to be the Debbie Downer of the group.
That's okay, Gary. We're used to it.
But I pulled the Five of Cups.
Interesting.
Now, this is a standard Rider-Waite deck.
Cool.
And I really think the message here is that this next year is going to be a challenging one. There's going to be times when the guild and psychic radio, with the rebranding, are going to want to pull its hair out, so to speak. It's going to get angry. It's going to get frustrating. It's going to want to chuck the entire thing. We mustn't lose sight of the fact that there is still good. Because in the Five of Cups, you know that the guy is sitting there looking at the 3 cups that are knocked over, but there are still 2 cups that are full standing behind him, right? We have to not lose track of the fact that there is still good that's going to come of this, but this is going to be a slough. And we need to cross that river, that water, that unknown element, which could be very, very scary, in order to reach the other side and the family and the town and the kinship of the oneness of what this can become. So I look at this as being a challenging year of growth for the guild, and also for psychic radio and psychic cafe, or excuse me, psychic talk. But if we stick to our guns and we don't give in to the fear, we'll be fine.
That's great. Well, you know, it's funny. I already feel some of that, though. I feel some Five of Cups already. Whenever there's change, you know, it's funny because change is the only constant in the universe, but humans hate change. You know, we like things to stay the same, be the same, but the only way you grow is to, you know, step out of that that garden in the Ace of Pentacles, and you know, think outside the box as well as step outside of your comfort zone, you know, or the 7. You know, it's hard sometimes. Plus, you know, when you first showed the card, Gary, you know, I felt the sadness, and things are changing already. You know, we're barely getting going. We're barely in 2024. We lost Mary. You know, we don't know who else we're going to lose as well. So yeah, you know, kind of feeling that already, you know, not even necessarily the future things that are going to happen where we're, like you said, we're pulling our hair out, but even right now I'm feeling that. Oh, Maria says in the chat, so Gary could be picking up on Dax's feelings now. I see good potential for the future if we keep the faith. Okay. That's kind of what Gary said, keeping the faith.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, it's sad to lose some of the folks, that we've lost. People come and go at the network all the time. But like I said, Mary's been around for forever, and I'm sad that she's not here for the 1000th broadcast when she spent all those years with me, and for the 14th anniversary of the Tarot Guild website and the launching of the new website. Of course, I want everybody to be here, but it's not possible, everybody, and it's dealing with the change, and um trying to think what to say on this. With the new website, we're moving the functionality of the community. So community hanging out in interest groups. We're going to create an interest group for everything. You can create an Insta group for, like, I want to do one on, Ciro Marchetti fan club and have all of his decks and talk about his decks and things like that. Pamela's decks and artwork. Pamela needs her own group. Astrology, Reiki, numerology, crystals, psychic development, animal communication. I'd like to see groups on everything. And then we all have our profiles and we can friend each other. We can instant message each other. We can private message each other. We can hang out in these groups and chit chat. We can post blog posts about different aspects of different interests we have, whether it's something from tarot or something from, mediumship or anything related. But we're moving this functionality of all of that, which is currently on the Tarot Guild website, on the Psychic Cafe. And it's a big change. And some people will love it. And I'm already seeing that. There are people, I know Pamela is really excited. I know Michelle's really excited. I know, let's see, who else have I mentioned? Charlotte's really excited about it. I think Catherine's almost as excited as me. And I've, Catherine's been a host for 5-6 years now on the network, and she does her thing. And that's, don't hear much peep out of her besides that, right? Now she's like really excited with this new website. But there's other people that have been around for a long time and they're not as excited. They want to keep the Tarot Guild site. And the current Tarot Guild site is on the Ning platform. Our very first one, the one we've been talking about that launched in 2009, beginning of 2010, all those years ago, was a Ning website. And we got rid of it, got a static website, and we came back to Ning a few years ago when our server died. And we decided, hey, let's give Ning a shot again. But the problem is that the Tarot Guild and the Tarot website, it's for industry people. It's for our colleagues. It's for folks that want to become psychic advisors, tarot advisors, numerologists, etc., or already are and want to get certified and want to grow their business. It's not for the general public. So having all of our stuff, our community conversations about tarot and other psychic stuff there and sending people to the industry website just doesn't make sense. And I wanted it to be more broad. That's why Psychic Cafe. Plus, for those of you that don't know, I have a huge background in coffee. I ran coffee houses for a couple of decades, and had them from Seattle to San Diego, all up and down the West Coast. and here in Tucson and Phoenix as well. Closed my last coffee shop in 2009 when we launched, because I knew I was launching, the Tarot Guild and the radio network in that January 2010, and closed the last coffee shop. And it's really cool for me to be able to connect that together. Plus, the whole idea, the concept I had was, let's go with psychic, because it's already Psychic Talk, the network. That way it's broad, and we can cover angels and astrology and everything from those A's down to the Z's. And then cafe, because, hey, where do people go and hang out and chit chat? And for those of you that don't know, that was my start. It was before the internet. I'm at coffee houses with stacks of tarot books and decks. And I'm reading these books and I'm practicing reading, and then people are seeing what I'm doing and they're coming over and asking me for readings. And that's how I got started. And that's how I ended up in the coffee too, because I moved to Seattle and continued going to coffee shops, and that's what you do in Seattle, coffee, right? Birthplace of Starbucks. So, I decided to go into coffee as a business, but it all started with reading tarot cards and learning tarot, and a lot of us started that way, and a lot of us still do that, where, prior to the internet and doing readings like this over Zoom, it was all in person. And, you have the storefront ones, and the palm and, and the neon and everything. But a lot of tarot readers don't like that, and they prefer coffee houses and doing readings, and having a latte or a cup of tea and pulling cards and so forth. So I thought, Psychic Cafe is perfect. A place where we can all go and sit down and talk about, our favorite decks, reading techniques, and the whole psychic gamut, everything else, even fringe things that are semi-related, that deal with the mind, like hypnosis, energy healing, Reiki, EFT, NLP, neurolinguistics, life coaching, because I think we're all life coaches when we're a psychic advisor, tarot advisor, Anyway, so, who else felt something, got some message, pulled some cards? Who wants to jump in? Anybody? And we got Ellie. She's like, I got a card.
I got a card.
What
So
happened?
I actually pulled the lovers.
What is that?
Let's see if we can see it there.
Oh, the lovers.
It's the lovers card.
I had to get
So definitely feeling that, like, moving forward in alignment and moving forward with a lot of love for what we do and for the community that we've got together and that we serve. And I just feel like it's a really good vibe, coming off of that Five of Cups. Yeah, things can sometimes go wrong and we look back at it and we just dwell on things that aren't working. But when we do choose to move forward with the love that we have for what we do, definitely puts us in alignment and in harmony with the mission of Psychic Talk and Psychic Cafe. So
Nice. I love that. And yeah, feeling the love. I was actually initially scared to reach out to some of our previous hosts to come and join us for the celebration, because I didn't know what reaction I would get, and literally as I sent out messages, a lot of them within minutes I heard back from. It's like, some of them said literally, oh, I was just thinking of you. It's that whole psychic thing. Others were like, oh my God, I totally want to be there for that. And a lot of people that initially RSVP'd, things happen and they weren't actually able to make it, but I know they're here in spirit. And I know Deb would be here if her husband wasn't ailing. I know that Rose would be here if her throat, wasn't all scratchy and she can't talk. It's hard to do a show when you can't talk. And Dr. Rose, I don't know what happened with Dr. Rose. We know what happened with Charlotte. Hopefully she'll still pop in here. She's probably listening. If I look on the switchboard, I'll see her phone number. You watch. Anyway, you guys know Charlotte. But yeah, I was initially worried about that. But actually, it's amazing, the love and the connection still, and it got me really thinking, especially this morning as I was getting ready for the show. I was thinking about how, it really, has nothing to do with this website or that website. Do you call it Psychic Cafe, the Tarot Guild website, psychictalk.net, the Psychic Talk Network? It's the people, it's us, it's not these things, so it's not the platforms we use. And I think people get wrapped up in all of that, those websites aren't going away, psychictalk.net, the tarotguild.com. It's just, I want to make new, fresh, nice, modern, clean, easy to navigate websites that do the job that's needed. So for the Tarot Guild, explaining what the guild is, inviting them to join, inviting them to learn the business side of the industry, as well as get certified and all that, And then the psychictalk.net. There is way too many websites and too many psychic. Anyway, psychictalk.net, again, a really clean website. Our hosts, our shows, very simple. This is where you watch them. This is where you listen to them. And everything will refer to the new website, Psychic Cafe, because that's where we want people to go and join. So not just professional readers, professional psychics, people joining the guild as a professional to socialize amongst ourselves, but everybody, aiming out at the general public, our listeners, our viewers, people that call in for readings, people that book us for readings, our clients. That's the idea. And it just makes more sense to me to have a platform that's open facing out, because what happens when the people join the guild and they're becoming a professional, and then they need a platform to promote themselves out? Well, rather than sending potential clients to an industry website, thetarotguild.com, it makes more sense to send them to psychic.cafe, which has our radio shows and YouTube lives, information about the Tarot Guild. There's a private group on there for our Tarot Guild members. That's where our members can get together and talk about industry stuff, but also have a reader network on there, an advisors network, where people can go in and see who's online and get readings. And this website's going to have all that functionality. So, and I've wanted that since the very beginning, because we tried using some other platforms before, Oranum and other things. Mary is on Keen. The thing about all those platforms, they all charge between 40, 50, 60%. The readers are getting maybe 40%, 50%. We wanted a network where people can have all the same functionality and be able to do readings and do it over video or chat, text chat or telephone, or they can schedule readings and have a scheduler and all that kind of stuff, but not take 40, 50, 60% of the reading. It should be, the readers should be getting at least 80, 85%, So we finally did find a platform that allows us to do that. It's called Loki, and it's like 10%, I think the platform takes, so we're going to be adding that in as well. So that's another thing coming. So get ready for that. Who else got a message or pulled a card? Or Michelle?
I did. I got the Four of Pentacles.
Oh, look at that. What is that?
This is my, let's see if I
Looks
can.
like a bull.
It is. This is a bull. And he has some pentacles behind him.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just seeing where don't run with this as in a bull in a china shop.
Oh, okay. Now I understand. Yeah.
But be more stable and secure with what we are doing with the Tarot Guild and the Psychic Cafe. Make, you know, when we go in there, make sure we go in with more knowledge of what we're doing, what we're planning, and not just going in, you know, half cocked.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And then the second card I pulled to go with that was Temperance.
Oh my God, you got Temperance too. That's so cool.
Yeah. Which means for me with this card is just to stay balanced. Yeah. Stay balanced, stay, you know, try to stay in both worlds and just keep going forward.
That's perfect, because that's what I was thinking, is I want to keep things balanced, you know, between the network, the guild, and this new third entity, our new community, Psychic Cafe, and have it, you know, all balanced. I actually think it's just, you know, going to be fantastic. I mean, there's, you know, Catherine and Charlotte and yourself and Pamela and everybody coming up with Ellie, you know, coming up with really, really cool ideas. Things that I didn't think of, you know, we could do this, we could do that. You know, there's like so much, and it's helping everybody is the main.
It really is. Yes.
You know, and giving a platform where we can reach out to the general public, and it's more inviting, being called something like Psychic Cafe. Come hang out with us, whether hanging out with us to watch one of our shows or to book a reading with one of our advisors.
Right.
Makes sense to me. I wanted to mention the original Tarot Guild logo was done by Ciro Marchetti. He donated that to the guild 15 years ago. And because it was, and I loved it, you know, and it is that gold colors, golden browns. And I used I think the Grand Lux cards more recently over the last couple of years. I put his cards from the Grand Lux Tarot from his deck behind the logo he created, and that, you know, enhancing our logo. But our color scheme always came from that. And that's why you may have noticed on like all of our websites and going back, a lot of our banners and a lot of our promotions had that kind of a color scheme. So there was golds, there was browns, there was even oranges, things like that. And so the new color scheme with the purple, you know, it's almost like, you know, Pepto-Bismol blew up or something, only instead of the pinkish color, it's the purple color. I also realized, this morning I was like, I've got a purple American Legion shirt. I can wear that for the show and, you know, have the color scheme on. I thought we needed something fresh. I thought we needed something different from what we had done before. Psychic Talk had the red curtains and the red, and then we had the color scheme mostly coming from because of Chiro's logo that he created for us. And I was like, well, I've always, what's my favorite colors? And blue's really good. It goes over really well. It's a calming color. Green is growth and inviting, and, yellow optimism and everything. But, and my favorite color is orange, but I'm like, an orange website? Yeah, it's been done, but I don't know. But then my other favorite color is purple. And I was like, that's the regal color. It's clean. It has this clean look to it, 85% of our clients and members are women, and a lot of them love purple. You have to go to your demographic, right? And there's Cooch Daniels. Oh my God.
Wow.
I completely forgot about Cooch, and then she just pops in like that. Look at that.
By the way, purple is the color of the crown chakra.
Oh, you were telling me about the combination. What's the two colors? The combination.
Red and blue.
Red and blue.
Hi, Cooch.
In the green
red
room,
and blue together that's what makes purple. Well, red is the color of passion, and blue is the color of calm and mastery. So when you blend those two together, then you have your crown chakra, which is actually a type of royalty. So anyway, good job. Hey, Cooch.
Couple things on that. Maybe it was subconscious, I don't know. But the blue calming and the red passion. I'm really passionate about this. And then the calming thing makes a lot of sense to me. And the reason for that is literally when I did the research and I found the plugin and WordPress theme combination to allow us to do all the functionality of basically Facebook on psychic.cafe. I found that, and over Black Friday, I bought the software. I bought new hosting. Yeah, you need hosting for a website. And one of the big problems with Ning is that it's a proprietary platform, and if it doesn't have the functionality, it's not going to let you change it, kind of thing. I mean, unless you know coding. If you know a lot of CSS coding, you can go in and change it, but I don't. And I don't want to work that hard. Plus I built the psychictalk.net on WordPress, and a lot of my other websites that I've done for the Legion and a lot of other friends and so forth, they've all been on WordPress. And so I found how I could do a community website with social networking on WordPress with a platform called Peepso. So I bought that. I bought the new hosting. I was trying to figure out, the URL, this Psychic Cafe, and I had wanted something with cafe because of my coffee background for years. And I had actually looked up psychic.cafe, psychiccafe.com, all the other permutations. They were all unavailable until Black Friday. I got the software we need. I got the new hosting. And then like a few days later, I'm like, I'm going to go on a registrar and just type that in and see, just for fun. So I typed in psychic.cafe, which, it's not a .com, .net, .org that we're all used to. .cafe is its own domain extension, and it makes it shorter. I thought that was cool. Popped it in the register. Oh, it's available. I just grabbed that. And I went on to our new server, popped it in there, created a WordPress website. It's a push button thing nowadays, and then added the software and started, building out Psychic Cafe. The calming thing that you were talking about, I felt like stuff the weight come off my shoulders, and just, I knew this was the right thing. I started building Psychic.cafe, and I'm like, I got very, there's the passion and the calm that you were talking about, the red and the blue that come together to make the purple. Makes perfect sense to me, because I instantly felt relief and calm when I started to build Psychic Cafe. You know, just knew it was the right thing, and was looking at the functionality of it, and it's like, this is great. It does all the same functionality as the Ning platform we had for the tarotguild.com, but it does it even better, and a nice modern looking theme and so forth. So Rose is here too. Oh my God. Is that you, Dr. Rose Wilkerson? I see Rose W, so I think it's Rose. But Cooch, how have you been? You look great. Thanks for joining us.
Well, you really brought in the thunder. We hardly ever get thunder in Northern California.
Oh,
but it must have been the excitement of your show, because all of a sudden there were like cosmic blasts and I couldn't get on, but finally everything calmed down and here I am. But congratulations. I just want to say congratulations. That's amazing that you've done 1,000 shows. That's a lot to just even, it's like 1,000 shows. Oh my God. So just think how many people you've influenced over those 1,000 shows, and congratulations for being so determined and so, pursuing a dream, and congratulations on Psychic Cafe. On all of it.
Thanks so much. Did you come over and join us on Psychic.cafe yet? You have to come join us.
Okay.
Yeah. It would be great to have you there.
I was invited, and I was invited, but my topic that I was invited for, something happened and I had to postpone everything. So I'm scheduled, I think, to come on, but I'll talk to you about it.
Yeah. And for everybody listening, just open a tab in your browser, type in www.psychic.cafe, and it'll pop up. You can check it out and you can join. Still a lot of work needs to be done on it, adding a lot of pages to the website, but come and join us. I was trying to remember, you said something and then now it went out of my head. Cooch. It's like, oh yeah, Cooch has been around since near the beginning too as well. But no, people are popping in and out of today's show, which is really cool. I told everybody, you don't have to stay for the whole show. Just pop in, say hi. We want to see everybody again. And, if you have to leave, you can leave. You don't have to stay here, and if you can't come till later, that's fine too. Dr. Rose Wilkerson is here. Your mic's off, Rose. Can you talk or only chat in the chat? She did say something in there. How are you?
Hi, Dex. Hi, everybody.
Oh, there she is. Okay.
I had muted myself. Dex, I have to apologize. I did not realize that this was like a Zoom thing until just moments before I joined. I was like, oh, I am not camera ready.
Oh, I told everybody you don't have to be on camera.
Oh, yeah. Okay, good. All right.
Yeah, we have it set up so like some people on Zoom have their picture. Those that don't have a picture, it says your name, and that's fine. A little block there. Maria couldn't be on camera today either, but she's got her neat little banner with her picture on it there. So
yeah, I'm not sure if I have my picture. I don't think I do, but yeah, I'm so glad. You guys, congratulations, 1,000 episodes. My goodness. That is wonderful.
Rose, oh my gosh. By the way, Maria has to leave. Thanks for being here, Maria. And
Bye, Maria.
I will be on guest co-hosting on the show, The Angelic View, tomorrow. So everybody tune back in tomorrow and write down the phone number, 714-816-4628. It's good for our show tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. But Rose, Cooch, when you were, thanking us, when you were congratulating us on 1,000 episodes, and Rose just did too, it popped back in my head what I wanted to say that I'd forgotten. I call those senior moments. I'm having them more and more as we go, 14 years and 1,000 episodes later. But what it was I wanted to say was that's 1,000 episodes on this network. Remember, we've only had this network for 5 years, something like that, of the 14. So in reality, we've done maybe 3 or 4,000 shows over the last 14 years.
Wow.
And yeah. And I figure helping anywhere from 2 or 3 or 4 up to 10 people per show, we've influenced and helped tens of thousands of people. It's just really fantastic. I love it. How you been, Rose? What you been up to?
I've been doing okay. Just different things happening, life changes. But the one thing that I have done is I decided to start posting again on my YouTube channel. I had a YouTube channel. I have a YouTube, let's say I have a YouTube channel where I talk about some teachings from a guru of Southern India, on mantras and meditation and things of that nature, gods and goddesses. And I've kept it up over the time, but I hadn't really been able to post anything probably. I think the last time I posted something was about 9 months ago or so. And now I just decided, I don't know, that I have this energy now in this new year of 2024 of just, okay, we're going to post. I'm just going to do this. I have about, was it 2,400 people, which is amazing. Even
that's
when
great.
I wasn't, right, even though I wasn't posting anything, I would keep it active. If people ask questions, I would answer them and things of that nature. And so just yesterday, I kind of did a relaunch, so to speak, where I said, hey guys, I am back. Here's what I'm going to do. This channel is going to be, what spiritual practices can do to help you to create or manifest that dream life. So I even introduced a colleague of mine, and I have a set of her videos, but then I'm also going to do a set of my own videos about, okay, how can we start the new year? Looking at our goals and just thinking about, I've had a lot of experience about, sometimes when you're dealing with the psychic realm, if you will, people are looking for pie in the sky type of dreams, which is nothing wrong with that. But I think what is missing a lot is the step-by-step process. It's like we want to press a button and get it done, or call on a deity or chant a mantra, and then magically, the $1 million will appear right before us. I mean, that would be nice. But
although some of us believe in magic,
yeah, exactly.
Like,
I believe in magic and miracles and those things, but I think also we have to take a step towards something. You have to take action. You can't just press a button, sit on the couch and wait for, the divine or your magical spells just to manifest in front of your front door. So I'm going to gear a lot of what I, know and different spiritual practices, not just mantras and meditation, on how we can manifest that, and look at it at a step-by-step process.
Well, in the beginning of the year here, one of my goals was to get us back to doing it every day. In other words, when we start the network, we had 14 hosts. We had more than 7 shows. We were on every day of the week. And I love being able to say that, it's like, tune in anytime. It's like, and I have started doing that. I'm going to do a show every day that there isn't a custom show, so we have our custom shows, like Catherine has her Compassionate Light show, and Maria has her The Angelic View. And who else am I thinking? Well, I had the Tarot Today with Mary, but now that Mary's gone, I put that on the back burner. I'm going to use the Tarot Today title for when it actually is Tarot Today. It's tarot related interviews and shows and stuff, but I'm going to use just generic psychic talk shows the days when we don't have a regular show. Sharona Rapsik, Magic Universe, she's on hiatus for it's her winter break. She's taking the winter off and retooling and maybe changing her format for shows when she hopefully comes back in the spring. And she couldn't be here today because she had already had a family engagement already planned out, way back. So couldn't change. So I'm going to do a show, every day that there's not a regular show, and I'm going to have on all different folks from the Tarot Guild, members, staffers. I'm going to have, guest co-hosts. And what I was going to say, Rose, pick any day I'm doing a show and pop on, and we can talk more at length about that. And that goes for everybody else. I want to have Vivian on, Suzanne, I want to have you on, Cooch, I want to have you on. So think of that for the new year when you have time. Hey, Dax is going to be on every day. What's my best day? It's like, okay, Dax, I'm on Tuesday. Whenever you want to pop on a show, let me know. Let's see, Cooch, I know you're busy writing books. What's coming out?
It's I've been told I'm not supposed to disclose anything until we get closer to the end game. So I'll just say tarot is definitely in a focus, and I've got another oracle deck coming out. So I'm busy with the oracles and the divination and trying to still do readings out in the world. And, life is really overly busy, but really good. And it's a new year, and it's going to be the year of the dragon, which is supposed to be very fiery and energetic. So fingers crossed for everything moving in a positive direction.
Wow. I was born the year of the dragon, and I didn't know it was the year of the dragon.
Coming up.
That's so cool.
The next new moon.
Wow. That is so cool, because I'm all about the dragons. And that's why I love Pamela's, so much. Her deck with the dragons, dragons. And my first deck ever was the Dragon Tarot, umpteen billion years ago. We won't talk about how long ago that was. Here's a clue. There's actually 2 or 3 Dragon Tarots, maybe even 4 Dragon Tarot decks now. There was only one that far back. Yes. yes. And Rose in the chat says she's working on it. She said she would certainly will. She'd love to come on a show. And we'd love to have you on there. And Cooch, when you can talk about more, come on a show and we'll interview you. And then when you get ready to launch a book or a deck or what have you, we can do a whole launch party for you. How about that? Launch it.
I love it. And I love it. And my book, I can't even remember my books anymore. The psychic tarot playbook that you did the introduction to, that got sold to Europe, and so your little blurb is becoming international.
Oh, that's cool. I'm floating around inside everybody's book in Europe. Okay. That's great. I may get famous. Who's this Dax dude?
Let's hope so. Let's hope so you can take us all with you.
Well, I've been working on it for 20 years and it hasn't worked yet. I'm just saying.
Oh, well, let's do it. Let's do a brand new affirmation that all of us are moving to a higher vibrational frequency, and we're tuning into Tarot Cafe or Psychic Cafe and working as a team to strengthen our intentions to be successful and to get really positive energy out there for the world, because it really needs our help. It needs our healing. And Dax has got the medium to get us out there and to get the message out there. So let's all see this just happening. Dax, you're not allowed to say it's not happening. You're only allowed to say it's becoming, it's getting more and more out in the world, and it's happening more and more. That's your new affirmation for the new year. Dragon.
Yay. Oh my God. I'm looking at Pamela. I didn't notice, but it looks like the dragon, the gold's coming out of your head. It looks like you have a giant headdress on. That's crazy. And that's just the image from the back of her card.
Pamela, you look like royalty.
Yeah, that is crazy. Oh boy. Well, that's the idea of Psychic Cafe. And, my mantra is a rising tide lifts all boats. So instead of us all, just having our own websites all, out here in the ether trying to get traffic, we can all also use Psychic Cafe to like bring people in. And of course, the shows help that too. And then it's a platform, and especially for new people that don't have their own website, you get a custom page on there and you can just use that. You get a custom URL, psychic.cafe/your name, like mine, psychic.cafe/Dax. If you want to see how it works, it goes right to your profile. Check that out. And I love, like, on my screen, I've got 9 boxes. It's like the Brady Bunch, and Suzanne is in the middle. What's going on with you, Suzanne? I get your newsletter all the time.
Oh, that's so cool, Dax. Yeah, so a lot has happened since we last had a proper sit down and a chat.
Yeah.
Because when we last worked together, I was still in the USA. We came back to the UK in 2018, and
that's so long ago.
I'm so close to my family again, and my magic is coming back. And I kind of took the plunge to not be so reliant on hotlines and actually start getting a proper client list and that kind of thing. And the experience that I gained with you guys and with the Tarot Guild really put me in good stead with that. And then on Halloween, I opened up my first bricks and mortar office. So there's no more sort of, I know, I'm so excited. There's sort of no more dodgy messages like, right, I'll meet you in the bar. I'm going to be the weirdo lady holding a pack of tarot cards so you know who you're waiting for. And it's working really well. And it's where my office is so the town that I live in, Kings Lynn, it's a beautiful old town. There's the huge quayside is medieval still. And as a town, it dates back to, I think it was first recognized as a settlement in like the 11 or 1200s. So, and there had been something before that, but that was when it got owned by the one of the bishops. It was known as Bishop's Lynn. And then the king took it over, and it's King's Lynn still to this day. And where I am, I'm in a beautiful old historic building that dates back to the 1700s. And this building houses a lot of very similar-minded businesses. So the main business is owned by a wonderful lady called Gemma. She runs GH Hair Design. But then she rents out office space to, obviously, there's me as a tarot reader, there's Reiki healers, there's hypnotherapists, counselors. Starting next month, she's got somebody who does Indian head massage. So what she's doing is she's creating this wellness hub in the town. And it's, I mean, I know there are 1 or 2 places in America that was becoming a thing.
Mm-hmm.
But in
There's
the UK,
places like that in some of
yeah, exactly. In the UK, this is a really novel and groundbreaking idea. So it's really exciting to be in on that. And she's got a beautiful relaxation lounge upstairs where my clients can go and they can have a cup of coffee, and there's calming music, and there's aromatherapy oils, and there's squishy cushions and bean bags and blankets. And it's just a really nice thing. And then on top of the business side, as you all know, I'm a British witch, and that's come on in leaps and bounds as well. And the area of the UK that I'm in now, Norfolk, is so steeped in magic. It's got a history that goes back. I mean, some of the actual written documents, they incorporate stuff that was going on when we were under Danelaw here, when the Vikings invaded. So there's a big history of using folk magic and that kind of thing in this part of the UK. There's a big traditional witchcraft tradition, which is interesting because this was also the part of the UK that was terrorized by a chap called Matthew Hopkins, who was the self-styled witchfinder general in the 1600s.
Oh,
yeah, you've heard of him, right? Have you seen the old Hammer horror film about the Witchfinder General?
Yes.
But yeah, he executed like thousands, mostly women, some men. Men weren't immune.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you're paid by the witch, it's amazing how many witches you find. So it's that part of the country that I'm in, and it's great for tarot work. The energy here is really fantastic. It's kind of a liminal area, East Anglia. It's largely, back in the day, it was largely swamps, marshland, the fens, the Norfolk Broads is a big tourist attraction. And over the centuries, the land's got drained and not quite domesticated, but they've tried. So it's kind of this in-between space where the water meets the land, and it's full of mists and ancient pockets of magic. And it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful part of the country. It's so lovely. Very different to where I grew up, and very different to all the areas that I was able to live in America as well. So it's a nice contrast. It really is.
That would be a great like tarot magic tour to, go there.
Yeah, absolutely. There's some real, I hadn't realized until I moved here just how big this sort of spiritual group is in this part of Norfolk. It's like you're tripping, like when I was in America, in certain areas it was hard to find somebody that would openly say that they were into tarot or they were witchcraft or that kind of thing,
the Bible Belt, and you were in Florida,
Yeah, I was in the Panhandle. That was very much sort of under the table and kind of stuff. Whereas here in the UK, we kind of don't really care. Even our oldest churches have got green men and characters from folklore and mythology in them.
Yeah, either they don't care or they're actually really into it.
And that's the thing. That's the thing. Yeah. And it's a nice kind of mix. You will always get some people who are absolutely against it and think that the tarot is the devil's work and that kind of thing. You will get there anywhere you go. But for the most part in the UK, they're like, oh, yeah, okay, whatever. And so it's great because it does give you that freedom, that big degree of freedom to just go out and fully explore your paths. But as a tarot reader, as a professional tarot reader, it means that my clients aren't in fear every time they come and see me. And I always tell them it's not about, it's because I guess we've all had them sometimes. People are like, I want a tarot reading, but I'm a little bit scared and I don't know what to expect. And am I going to hell? And what happens if my family finds out? So it's nice to be able to kind of be in that environment, particularly where my office is, where it is so calm and there's a buzzer entry system. So you are literally shut away from the outside world. And you can dive deep into all of those issues that come up, and know that there's people in your community open and out of the broom closet, so to speak, that you can turn to for help when you need it. And it really is fascinating. You love it, Dax. Honestly, you would love it here. You like a bit of the weird. So
I do. Well, that's one of the cool things that I always, loved about technology and once teleconferencing got really good, it got to the point where, the people giving the readings don't have to fear, and the people getting the readings don't have to fear, because it's all anonymous over, video chat or what have you.
Yeah.
However, if you go back even 20 years or more, and even here in the United States, like I was saying in the beginning, I'm out at the coffee shops. I got my cards, people came up to me, and it's surprising, and it would surprise a lot of people how many people are curious about tarot and curious about getting a reading.
Yeah. I remember when I was learning the deck, I'd had them for a little while, but when I was really starting to get into it, which was, probably about 22 years ago, I guess, I was sat in a pub with my cards. A friend had asked me to do a reading on her, so I did a reading. And you could see people just sort of sat there with their pint, looking over, and I kind of had this idea that it would be mostly a female demographic, and there's these big tattooed blokes, and they're like, what are you doing? Oh, tarot reading. Oh, I don't believe in that. Cool. Do you want to sit down and have your cards done? Yeah, all right then. And and yeah, it is so much fun. And actually, those are my favorite people. I love, like, when I do psychic fairs and the people are like, oh, you should get yours done. You should get yours done. No, I don't believe in it. And I always say, doesn't matter, my darling, the cards believe in you. Have a seat. And you just knock their socks off. And it's just so much fun. And actually, some of my best clients were those sort of non-believers. And like, oh yeah, let's prove this is rubbish. Do my cards. And you kind of, one bloke did accuse me of being a stalker. He asked for a financial reading, so I just gave him an outline on basically how he views his finances and how he deals with them and what to be wary of in the coming sort of 6 to 12 months and everything. And he was literally sat there, arms folded, face of steel, you know, gave me nothing during the reading. And at the end, I just said to him, how was it? And he's like, you're scary. You're a stalker. You've been going through my bins, haven't you? It's like nobody could know that much about me. And even his girlfriend was like, I didn't know half of that stuff.
Going through my bins.
Yeah, it's just so much. It can be real fun, as well as, of course, going into the much deeper work, going into the shadow stuff and that kind of thing. But I mean, interestingly, you said about pulling cards earlier on, and I've been learning this really new deck, which is actually called the Norfolk Folk Tarot, and it's really different. It's really different. It's an absolute plain black and white deck, and it uses characters from East Anglian folklore, and the suits are different. So they're all magical tools from the Norfolk tradition, the nameless tradition in Norfolk. And the one that I'm going to show you guys, but there's really not an exciting card to look at, to be honest. It's called the Six of Sieves. And sieves are used in traditional magic, certainly in this part of the country, for like literally sieving through to get the message that you want. It kind of relates to the Pentacles. So it's really interesting because for me, this card is about generosity. It's about being on the right track financially and with business propositions. So when we're looking at, say, the Psychic Cafe launching, again, it's just another, like everybody else has been picking up on, it's another really nice positive card. But also good to know that financially, this being an 8-year and an abundance year, the things are going to be doing okay for us all. You see, I was paying attention, Dax. Yeah. Dax had your number, and there was a bit of numerology in there. But yeah, it's really nice that whatever deck we use, we're all getting sort of messages on a theme again. I love that.
Oh, awesome. I have a story too, because like I was the most unlikely place, you know. So you're at the VFW or the American Legion, you know, veterans, and you got the old crotchety guy, got to be like 80 years old, you know, the one like, you know, and I can't remember if I was talking with a friend about tarot or if someone had asked me there to do a quick reading, and I did it for, you know, this guy comes over and I'm like, oh God, here it comes. You know,
yeah,
it's gonna be that, I don't believe in that crap, you know, or it's gonna be the you know, ultra right wing fundamentalist Christian point of view, you know. It's like, that's the devil's work, you know, kind of thing. He comes over to the table and goes, yeah, you know, my wife did tarot cards. She passed away, unfortunately. But I did tarot cards too. She was always mad at me because I did them better than she did.
I love that.
The last person on the planet you would think read tarot cards. You know, this 85-year-old veteran came over to me.
Yeah. But again, it's really interesting because so many people come at tarot and similar systems, but from very, very different backgrounds. And I mean, I never met her. She passed when my mum was a child, but my great grandmother, she did a lot of divination She did palms, she did tea leaves. She didn't do tarot, she used playing cards. She did Ouija boards. She was a medium, but she was also a good Catholic woman, you know. And so it's kind of, and that's what I mean. It's, you get this sort
I
of,
was raised Catholic, you know.
yeah,
so.
exactly. You get this sort of meeting of paths around systems like tarot or mediumship and that kind of thing. And it's just this beautiful coming together of gifts, no matter what your path is. It's wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I like about, you know, the idea of doing Psychic Cafe, the new website, because in addition to tarot, we can have magic and palmistry and, you know, anything we want. Astrology. I would love some animal communicators. If you're an animal communicator out there, you got to join Psychic Cafe and start an interest group. You know, we could have a group for everything. And Cooch literally wrote the book on palmistry. So Cooch, we need to do a public group on Psychic Cafe for palmistry too. Yeah. Why not everything, right? Oh,
I'm all
boy.
for it. I'm all for it.
Yes.
If you're for real, let me know.
Well, I want to ask Vivian, but just real quick, I want to shout out to everybody in the chat. There's like all these people on YouTube. And normally during these shows, it's all about, you know, we're constantly going between the phone lines and looking at the chat. But because this is a special episode, an anniversary celebration, we have all of our friends, you know, popping on here and there and joining us and chatting about stuff. I haven't been paying too much attention to the chat, you know, so I wanted to give a shout out to everybody in there. And some people that have been watching our shows forever, like Nilda is in there. First name, last name. Yes, they are the most anonymous person on YouTube. First name, last name. Nicholas is in there. And of course, a lot of us are in there as well. I see Pamela in there. Dr. Rose, when she popped off our Zoom call here after saying hi, she's still here. She's in the chat. I see Rita and Rosemary and Eric. Coach Shakti is actually Dr. Rose. That's her alter ego. Rosemary, who else? Yeah, I think I named everybody. I want to give shout outs to everybody in the chat. And hey, you know, if we don't, you know, get to chat with you or, you know, do a reading or anything like that, you know, we've been going for a while now. It's we probably need to start wrapping things up. But I will be on with Maria on her show, The Angelic View, tomorrow on Sunday. And it's the same bat time, same bat channel. So 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, what is that? 7 p.m. UK. You know, it's amazing I can remember all those, you know. We'll chat with you tomorrow, you know. It's really about celebrating the 1000th episode and the 14th anniversary of doing our broadcasts and being online with the websites and everything like that. But Vivian, yeah, we haven't talked to you yet. Like, as far as what's been going on with you, what you've been up to.
Well, I thank you for inviting me here, and congratulations, 1000 episode, 14th anniversary. But Dax, honestly, all the commitment and time that you spent, actually, which each of us and all the listeners is phenomenal. I congratulate you for that, because I started with Angelic Realms. That's like probably 7 years ago, and then went to Psych Talk Radio, and it's an amazing feeling. Even then, we were just on the radio, but to be able to connect with somebody that's so far away. And it was interesting. I was on it was a Zoom, like of course Zoom, and it was a Zoom circle or something, and a lady there said, "Oh my God, she's Vivian. I heard you on Blog Talk Radio." And this is probably like 3 years later. And I heard you, and I remember what you told me. And of course, I didn't have no idea who she was, because we don't know the names or anything. So it really, we never know sometimes how much we touch someone. So I just want to thank you, Dax, for keeping us all together, keeping us on track, and all the technology and your expertise that you've given us and showed us, has brought us forward. And yeah, I still do my healing business. And Suzanne, where you've been, I kind of want to go there. I was more in person, but then I went with COVID and everything. I went online, but I would love to go where you were at. That is just awesome. And it's the Zoom, like you say, Dax, has opened so many avenues, right? And it's neat to see somebody and see their face as well. And in person is awesome. But I still have the old phone call ones, and it's amazing how there's no limit to where you can go with healing, with readings, with whatever. And that was really brings us all together. And I think we all have that same view, that same passion of helping others. And I thank you again for bringing me here. I just moved. I used to be 5 hours drive from my grandchildren, and now I'm 15 minutes. So I get to spend a lot. So that was the biggest thing I did. But it was. Coach has got to go.
Oh, hey, Coach. Thanks for popping in.
Thank you. Love you
We
all.
appreciate it. Yep. And we'll get you on a show soon. We can hang out with Cooch. She's fun. So much fun. So yeah, Vivian. You have to get to go with Pamela. You're only like a territory over, or
only like 15-hour drive though. 15 hours drive, so a little drive.
Our provinces are rather large. Our provinces would swallow Texas 3 times over.
And where are you at, Pamela?
Alberta, southern Alberta.
Oh, okay. I'm in Edmonton. So where are you?
I'm straight south.
I'm about an
hour and a half out of Calgary. Between Calgary and Medicine Hat.
I'm sure I know the town. So see, it's and we've never met before other than here. That's what I mean. It brings us all together.
I'm in Brooks.
Brings everything. Oh,
in
Brooks. I haven't heard of Brooks. See, look at
that. Well, don't believe everything you hear about it, but
no, I've only heard good things. So that's
okay.
Good.
It's a great place.
So see, really. Dax, you bring us all together from different parts of the world, and that's what's so neat.
I know, we're so international. It's so cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Going along with what you were saying, Viv, I did want to, because Chiro made the logo, I wanted to pull a card or two from his deck, the Grand Lux. And I was doing this while you were talking there, and I got the Page of Wands. Love that. Love that card. Love that card. But it just fit perfectly. It's because I mean that's so me. The Page outlook on things, and then the fire. Being really passionate about it all. So I just thought I'd mention that. I also pulled another card, and Gary would like this because I got the 6 of Swords. He would love this. I love this particular 6 of Swords, by the way, from the Grand Lux. And we're making slow, steady progress there, towards our goal. And it's interesting, in this version, the swords are in the water, not in the boat. I always thought that was interesting. It's so different from all the other incarnations of the 6 of Swords. I always say with the 6 of Swords, it's like, oh, you're making that nice, slow, steady progress, but how many thoughts and ideas are you carrying in that boat with you? Yeah. And so, that's what I think's going on with, 6 is success in numerology. I think this is all going to be very successful for us. Yeah, sure. What Gary said about, like the 5 of Cups. Yeah. There might be those moments, but we got to remember that we have those 2 full cups behind us, and we need to turn around and stop doing the, crying over spilt milk. It's going to be hard, even just the unseen behind the curtains, the guy behind the curtains, that's me. I always think of
Dax,
in the Wizard of Oz. I'm
pull your
actually I'm doing the technology, and yeah,
Dax, pull the Six of Swords from the Steel Wizard. They're not in
you're
the boat.
kidding.
No, they're on the beach.
Oh, the water.
Oh, here. Oh, look at that. Yeah,
I left them on the shore because I figured we didn't need to take them with us.
that was brilliant. That was brilliant. I wish I was an artist. Yeah.
You are.
Yeah, well, I often tell people that, when I do the banners for the shows and everything, that's when I get to unleash my artistic side and do stuff in Photoshop and make everything look really good and stuff. Also, building websites. Websites are like a blank canvas to me, and that's kind of my artistic output. However, I'm talking about, tarot art and tarot decks. And that's something I would like to get going this year is, finally do, one of the multitude of tarot ideas that ideas for tarot decks that I've had over the last, 30 years, that I'd like to do. And it's just not being an art, but what I'm thinking of is I may try to get better at Photoshop and doing collage combined with AI and things like that, and making images, and I might use that to create a deck in the future. The actual concept of the deck I have, it's just doing the artwork. That's the main thing.
Or team up with an artist.
Yes, what I'd like, what I'd really like, what I've always wanted, and this deck, the gold foil, is just the plain, Waite Smith, but it's done with this gold foil, and like I said earlier, it's this PVC material. I can use it over and over again here on the shows. It always pops back, right? It's got a nice thickness to it. It slides like silk. It's so easy to shuffle, which means I can shuffle quick, which means I can shuffle between, every caller and every person asking a question in the chat. And I was using the Grand Lux, but every time I would show a card or talk about something, I was always translating it into Waite Smith in my head. And I'd actually verbalize that a lot. I'd go, well, in the Waite Smith version of the deck, there's this going on with the imagery, versus this, or what have you, versus this, like the swords are actually in the boat, kind of thing. And so I said, you know what, I need a deck that, first of all, this one's tall, I need a deck that I can hold better, because this one does the whoops as the cards fly. Look at that. I can bend this like all over the place. I can shuffle so much easier. I was like, I need a deck, real cheap deck. I can go on Amazon, spend $5 or $10, get a real cheap deck that's Waite Smith, but looks really cool, where I can show the Waite Smith images. I didn't want to just get another, I have lots of universal weight decks from Los Scarbeo and multiple US Games Universal Tarot and Waite Smith decks and stuff. But I wanted something different. That's how I found, the gold foil deck, which I absolutely love. And when I use it on air, people, now that we're not just radio and they can actually see the cards, it's really cool being on YouTube. But I've always wanted like a Waite Smith clone like deck that was the official Tarot Guild deck. So I have my deck idea, which is nothing like that. And some of you are privy, because back in the day, I told you what I had envisioned, which has never been done before. And I still hope to be able to do that. But, I also would like to just find an artist what I want to do is have exactly the same symbolism, exactly the same images, but modernized and not exactly the same. Does that make sense? It's like I'd like to have, and people have tried this, a few. And like I said, Los Scarbeo has their universal, which is like I think it's watercolor, and it's the same images, the same, but redrawn. And I think they did a really great job with that deck.
Have you seen Shirona's?
And yeah, and hers is, like a recoloring.
Yeah.
But what I want
beautiful.
is I want new pictures. I want completely new, modernized. My theory for this was, if I could find the right artists to do it, imagine we go back in time, or a better way to say it is, imagine we bring Pamela Coleman Smith forward in time to 2024, and she has all of the artistic tools that we have today that she didn't have back in 1909. What would these cards look like then? That's what I would love to get done and make it the official Tarot Guild deck, and the one that we recommend that everybody get first when they're first learning tarot, And then I have my whiz bang deck that I still want to do. That's kind of like Tarot 2.0, or maybe even 3.0. It's like out there. Anyway, we'll talk about that later. But yeah, so that's it would be great, and if there's anybody out there that is an artist that would like to re-envision the traditional Waite Smith for the Tarot Guild, let me know. I've tried it a couple of times and got started with one or two artists, but yeah, we never got it done. Never got it done. Anywho, so
Dax, I did pull, which might be interesting. I did pull cards when you asked. As usual, I pulled a card before we're getting ready for this show, and it was the star card, but it was reversed. It was reversed. So when you started with your question about what the show was, I said, okay, I'm going to mix the cards up and see what I get again. And I love it when it came back. So it came back, flipped the right way. Reversed, it only means to me is basically just look at it a little bit closer again. So of course we know the star speaks for itself. There's just you're going to have a following. You're just going to. And the second card is just interesting. It was this one, and it's just everything's lining up. And I'm always pulled. I'm not pulled so much. I'm pulled to something in the card, and his fingers are all lining up, and just in matter of the time, it's just waiting, and it's coming. And then it's interesting. This was for the future, and this one was actually reversed. But so it kind of went with what Gary was saying. But again, what I was pulled to, all it meant was that just adjust your sails. Just to adjust the sails is where I was pulled to. So it was reversed, which just means take a look a little bit further. But all it was really referring to is just adjusting your sails. And I think that comes with any kind of venture, right? And kind of what everybody was saying here. So I thought that was really interesting how that all came together.
The figure on that card, when you showed that card, right away, I thought of Dr. Rose Wilkerson.
Oh, that's right.
It reminds me of Dr. Rose.
What she's got in her hands. And that's that Angel Wisdom Tarot from Radley Valentine.
Oh, I love Radley. Oh God, we've interviewed him. We got to get him back. He's so good. But what you said about gosh, now I forgot what it was. Shoot, now I forgot what you said. It was on one of the, it was on one of the fingers. It was it was something about that card. What did you say about that again?
They directed me to the fingers. Now you know how their fingers, if you notice, the fingers all lined up, that everything it's in its thinking phase, and it's just lining all up. And that's at the present.
I was having a senior moment just then. Now I remember what I was going to say. It's like amazing that you use that language about things lining up, because it's been so quick. It's only been since like the end of December till now. And we already have so much with the Psychic Cafe already. And when you said things lining up, like the URL psychic.cafe becoming suddenly available out of nowhere, where I know for sure 2-3 years ago it was not available, because I looked up, I was trying to do something like this, already thinking about it years ago. And I looked up, Psychic Coffee House, psychiccafe.com, psychic.cafe, all these, psychiccafe.net, all these different derivations of it, and nothing was available. And then suddenly it became available. So cool. It just lined up. And then I saw, Black Friday and Black Friday sales, and the hosting's on sale. Oh, wait, the software we need for the website is on sale, and then, just putting it together, it like happened really, really quickly and was working, and then people coming on it, our staff, our hosts, listeners, watchers, viewers of the show, just suddenly, coming on. And it just all came together. And that's what I feel like. It's all coming together. And then I had some great ideas for it and what I wanted the cafe to be, and I put in when I write about on our site about, new, the next show, whatever, I say, hang out with us in the cafe every day is how I start the paragraph about, coming and hanging out with us and, get a reading, give a reading, chat with us, watch us on YouTube, et cetera, et cetera. I had some ideas already for the platform. I knew that I wanted to get some kind of functionality so that we could have an automatic reading system where our advisors could decide if they were going to offer, click here and book a reading, or turn them, click and say they were live and be able to go, clients could go right into a video reading or a chat reading or a text reading. And you could turn off any of those or turn on any of those functionalities. So like each advisor can decide exactly how they want to work. Do they want to book readings, or do they want to have live, instant readings? And I wanted that functionality, but it was everybody else where that whole feeling of it coming together is what I'm getting at. Like Catherine and a lot of her ideas. And, she was talking about, okay, this time let's do a store and have everything on the store. And then we can do, and I told her, well, I know of a plugin for like WooCommerce plugin. You can do that, have a store, but then there's a plugin to the plugin that's called multi-vendor, and we could each have our own store. And then she just like went with that. She's like, oh yeah, and had all these ideas and things like that. And everybody that has their own decks and books and everything, we can have Pamela's deck on the store and all this kind of stuff. But also, because it's a cafe, because it's psychic.cafe, we can have, how about our own coffee brand? Like Mystic House Java, or, Psychic Cafe's Mystic House Blend, and teas. And then also sell on the store tea infusers, coffee grinders, coffee makers, French presses, and of course everything else, coffee cups and tumblers and all this kind of stuff. But it's like everything has just, what you said, Vivian, everything has just like fallen together, like you were describing. It's just amazing. And we're barely scratching the surface, because I haven't gotten, even all of you here haven't gotten you all onto the website yet. And your head's percolating with ideas like, ooh, we could do this. Ooh, what about that? And that's what I want, is I want everybody to go, oh, not only can Dax run with this as a passion project, but we all can. It's like, what can you build on Psychic Cafe as an example? And because it's Psychic Cafe, not just tarot, like the Tarot Guild website, it's open to everything, magic and crystals and astrology and energy healing and just palm reading, runes. Pamela's making a runes group, and she's doing the artwork for the banner, or the group cover right now, as a matter of fact. So I want to thank everybody for being here with us, and especially those of you that have stuck with us all this time. Oh my gosh, we've been here forever. But I'm sorry, we didn't do readings today, but it was about something else, and bringing us all back and talking about the vision and talking about the new website and the new platform. But I'll be back tomorrow with Maria, and we'll be taking phone calls from the get-go, and taking your questions from the chat. 714-816-4628. Write it down, and we'll be back tomorrow. Okay. But I wanted to thank everybody for being, this has been such a treat, getting to see Vivian again, getting to see Dr. Rose, getting to see Suzanne, Cooch. Oh my God. I had like way too much fun. And the folks that hopefully they're seeing this, the folks that couldn't be here for various reasons, like Deb Frew and Rose Full Horse and so forth. I hope you'll all come on a show here and there. Remember, 7 days a week now. It's like, if I'm doing a show, go, hey Dax, I can pop on Saturday. Hey Dax, I can pop on this Thursday or Monday, or and we would love to have you, and we'll play catch up with everybody. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye to the UK.